Spoiler alert! The most important tip I will give you today is to give your readers the bottom line first. Start by showing them your destiny and only then expose the route you took in order to get there. Hello students, welcome to this quick guide on effective academic writing. In this video, we'll cover some fundamental tips to help you write clearly and concisely. By the end of this video, you'll be able to plan and structure your writing more efficiently. The goal of this video is to help you improve elementary writing skills. We will focus on the paragraph level, but learn rules that also apply to the sentence level and to the section or even the entire paper. Let's get started. Academic writing has different goals than writing for entertainment, and therefore there are different techniques to apply if you want the written text to fulfill its purpose. Please stop and think for a second. What is your primary purpose in writing an academic paper? How is this goal different from that of writing content meant to entertain? Unlike writing meant to entertain, academics writing's primary purpose is to inform and persuade your reader of your arguments. Skilled writers can develop different writing styles over time, but beginners should focus on adhering to structure. For you, the most important thing is to be able to write in concise, clear, and structured way. Let's break down a standard paragraph into three main parts: the topic sentence, the elaboration, and the demonstration or evidence. This structure does not fit every paragraph and every section of your paper, but for the most part, these elements are all relevant, and that is the simplest way to structure them. We will start with the most important part, the topic sentence. The topic sentence is the bottom line of your paragraph, only it comes already at the top. It could be a conclusion you came to after synthesizing the findings of a few studies. If, for example, you found that researchers tend to have two different approaches regarding the effectiveness of nudges in mitigating the spread of misinformation, then your single opening sentence will include exactly that. Researchers present two approaches to the effectiveness of nudges in mitigating the spread of misinformation. You can give a couple more words if you feel necessary, as long as the sentence remains very concise. For example, researchers present two contrasting approaches to the effectiveness of nudges in mitigating the spread of misinformation, the affordance and the thematic approach. You can also reorganize the sentence if you feel necessary, depending on its purpose within the entire section. If, for example, you just presented the affordance approach and now you want to contrast it, you can try something like, unlike researchers of the affordances approach, thematic approach researchers find that the effectiveness of the nudge depends on the specific issue the misinformation is about. Notice that in all of these versions, I presented my main argument without providing any details or supporting it by any evidence yet. But I have already framed for the reader the purpose of the paragraph, and now they will try to interpret the rest of my text accordingly as support for my argument. If I would have started with my evidence or an elaboration, they might start thinking of their own arguments, their own bottom lines, and when they get to the argument, the one that I was trying to make, they might be surprised or maybe even disappointed. Okay, after the topic sentence, you can elaborate. So 2-3 sentences that provide more details about different components of your topic sentence. For example, explaining in more words what are the main arguments of the thematic approach scholars, Or maybe you're in a findings section, so you want to break down the primary sentence that represents your theme into some sub-theme or elaborations. Finally, include some evidence, demonstrations. Either refer to a specific study and report a specific finding, or give a quote by an interviewee if you're in a findings section. In some cases, the elaborations and evidence would come in a mix. So you would have a detail about the theme, followed by a quote from an interview, and then another detail, another quote, and so on. The second and the third sections will also not always appear in the same way in different paragraphs, depending on their purpose. Now let's see an example. So, in this paragraph, there is a clear topic sentence. It stands in contrast to the previous paragraph that provided said statistics. After that, there is one elaboration, followed by evidence, right? That's the first approach is presented, followed by a few specific studies, which serve as the evidence in this case. And then another approach and the accompanying evidence. Now let's practice. Look at the following paragraph, which is not structured according to the recommendations that we just gave. At the bottom, try to reorder the sentences so they would fit the recommended structure. Please note that there's more than one possible order. It still makes sense. Also, I added some connective words, right? So the current version would make some sense, but you may ignore them when you do the restructuring. So now you can pause the video and write down the correct order. Is this the order you got? Or this one? If so, you can continue. Otherwise, you can pause the video to figure out the differences or even rewind to try again. Now, let's practice one more thing, the topic sentence, with your own examples. Please write down to yourself a topic sentence for an assignment that you have in mind. Pause the video until you are done. And now let's reflect on it. Please consider the following questions. To what extent does it serve its purpose within the paragraph? Are the words in it ordered in the best way? Is there a way maybe to make the sentence shorter without losing its meaning? And how does this fit as a paragraph that you are constructing within the entire section that it belongs to? If you want, you can pause the video until you have your answers ready. You now have learned the basics of structuring your paragraphs in academic writing. You start with the bottom line. Your paragraph includes a topic sentence, an elaboration, and a demonstration. Apply these tips to improve your writing skills, and remember, writing is a process with back and forth writing and deleting, rethinking and reflecting. If your outcome is similar to your first draft in any way, it means you did not work on it enough. Thank you very much for watching.